Welcome everybody to MogTalk. You all are unfamiliar. MogTalk is a show based around the Final Fantasy XIV community, discussing everything from Savage Raiding to Chocobo Racing to mindlessly complaining about Party Finder every single episode, because that's what we do. We got a couple things we want to fix on the stream. I did a rush job, guys. I did a rush job trying to get Woops in here, because Woops was like, man, I need to come on this show. I need to talk about the EU Fan Fest and what they did over there. And so it's like, all right, Whoops, if you really want to come on, I guess I'll make it work. Gosh.
Exactly how it went down.
That's literally exact. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It was a lot of demanding.
Mm-hmm. It's like, please, Whoops, I just need to just have this show. 3 people's too much. And they're, no, I'm coming in.
Frosty.
Like, okay. Well, let me go ahead and introduce our guests a little bit here. So you might know who we're talking about, since we're making fun of him so much right now. Whoops is a fantastic streamer, very well known in the Final Fantasy XIV community. I think maybe something with VR too. I don't really know. Been around for a bit. Funny guy. Did some top raiding with me. Pretty skilled raider in general. What else do I need to add to that, Whoops?
That's about it.
All right. Fair. Okay. Now that we have had this cringy start here, Spofie, another wonderful guest of mine, has been on many Mog Talks before. A wonderful member of the community for Final Fantasy XIV. In the club with the rest of us of content creators who were unable to go to EU Fan Fest, but watching afar. Here to discuss EU Fan Fest with us today. How are you doing, Spofie?
I am okay. You know, life, but gaming life is good. Gaming world is good.
Okay. Good. You know, I like it when people introduce themselves better. I'm not going to listen to YouTube comments anymore. Jesse, tell everybody who you are.
Hi. I am Jesse, or Zoltan. Everyone just normally calls me Jesse anyway. I am a Twitch streamer. I do a lot of variety stuff. Play a little bit of 14 here and there. Raid with a little group called Nest, and yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's me.
Okay, cool. So the last time Jesse was on the show, I kind of want to look it up. I kind of want to look up the date.
I can almost guarantee it was late Heavensward or early Stormblood. It's got to be somewhere around there.
It was. We interviewed. We brought you on. Just the whole Nest group we brought on to just talk about Nest and everything else. But it was so long ago. Let me see. Nest. January 29th, 2017.
Ooh.
Damn.
That's do you remember the first time I was on the show, Frosty, in 2016?
Barely.
The in-person one?
Oh, the in-person one? Yeah, I remember we had Kevy. Wasn't that right? Yeah. That was at TwitchCon.
Yeah. I go back. Sometimes I go back to that YouTube video. It's like a cringe video of when you were younger sort of vibes.
Jeez, you're not wrong though.
Well, it's been like a decade. So.
It's been a long time. We I don't know. I was trying to experiment with that too. That's the only TwitchCon I've been to so far. And that's actually, funny enough, that's happening right now too.
It is, yeah.
So
don't go to another one. That one was the best.
yeah. That one was. Honestly, yeah. The first couple of TwitchCons I thought were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know so much anymore, but then again, it could just be biased because I'm not going to them. So, but that all being said, you know, I appreciate the 3 of you coming together again with our .EU fan club that we have going on. Our little society of people who did not travel to see Viper in person with Yoshida. What, you know, there's a lot of stuff to unpack with that showcase.
Yes. Oh yes.
I'm gonna let you guys take the floor for just a second. Just tell me, whoever is the quickest to say it and most ambitious, what was the most interesting thing about FanFest today?
The Lalafell chins. Sorry, I couldn't. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm just so excited. They look so awesome.
What was
I'm
that?
You got all your notes from
honestly-
it?
I think I'm more hyped than the average person for the Fall Guys collab.
Actually, though,
Like, I'm
Yeah.
actually high key really excited.
so like we all knew it was coming. It's like, oh, they're
Yeah.
gonna make a little like leap of faith or whatever, dude.
Uh-huh.
That
Yeah.
looked really fun. With what they showed,
Yeah.
like
I'm
all the
just, like-
mechanic markers and Jimbo's in there.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping so bad that we can like make our own groups. Like that would
Yes,
be
please.
that'd be so
Well,
good.
Yeah.
Didn't okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think at NA FanFest or a live letter at some point recently, they said that they were adding Party Finder specifically for the Gold Saucer section, right?
Oh, that'd be
I mean,
so
it's
good.
there.
In anticipation for this.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
they haven't given us a lot of really solid details on the core
it's there
functionality
already,
of how it's
yeah.
going to work, right?
Oh, nice.
Huh?
They said it's there already, so I guess
Yeah,
it's basically confirmed that we can queue with friends.
mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you can queue with friends with other stuff too, right? So I don't know. It would make sense that it would,
Yeah, right now you can queue for everything Party Finder for yeah.
Mm.
I'm looking at it right now.
except for gates, right? And so,
No, the gate's on there.
oh, gates are on there too. Oh well, I guess
I
it's like
swear I
selected
just
as an
saw it.
option, but like, well, I guess you
Yeah,
can queue into
just
gates.
Party
together,
Finder
too.
gates.
Oh.
That way you could
Yeah.
like get a group together that's just gonna stand around and do gates, I guess.
Yeah. And, you know, so I saw this in chat really just like right now. We're talking about Fall Guys. Let's start with Fall Guys as our first topic. We talk about freaking everything,
Oh,
right? It's all over the
Best
place.
podcast ever.
Yeah. But they're talking about server tick issues. That's not going to make things worse. That's going to make things better.
Yeah.
Because it's just
Uh-huh.
nonsense. And you're just going to get, you know, you're going to get knocked out for BS reasons to be angry. And I think that's part of Fall Guys, right?
I wasn't
Yeah.
in that. On my
Yeah.
screen, I wasn't.
Yeah. I think it works out. It's going to work out pretty well. They did say it was seasonal, though, right?
Did they?
Something like that. I mean, the thing is, I think they said that it might be temporary, but like also, I don't know if that's like a Garo type temporary where it's like, we're just saying this just in case they want to take it down, sort of thing.
Yeah, you know, I can't really see this being in the game forever. So,
Yeah.
like 10 years from now, somebody logs in. Fall Guys, what the hell?
What's Fall Guys?
I think I read somewhere. I was looking through the Reddit Discord just trying to make sure I understand all, you know, what's coming, the translations for everything. And I think one of the notes in there was that it was a seasonal thing, that maybe it comes back. It kind of like maybe the Garo PvP stuff could be like that, right?
Yeah.
And that would make sense. It kind of sucks though, because I want a really fun gold saucer attraction that people want to get together and do. So
Frosty, I have a question.
yeah.
Have you ever played PSO2?
Well, I play PSO1.
Okay, a lot of people know where I'm going with this.
Okay.
There's a casino in PSO2 Global.
Mm.
I don't know if it's in New Genesis that has like actual slot machines and blackjack that you can play with in-game currency, and it is
With real
so
in-game currency?
much fun. Yeah,
So are
it's
you
a
saying they
it's a
should do
separate currency that buys you some like.
Oh, okay. Like MGP.
It's not like it's not like the Gil equivalent. There was like a
Okay.
separate like gold like MGP basically. It's essentially the same thing. So fun. I would love to have stuff like that in the gold saucer.
The thing
Yeah.
that if I'm thinking about Gold Saucer and I'm thinking about how you can lose MGP outside of just buying stuff, that's just like triple triad, right? That's like the only thing. Can you lose money in other
I don't-
places?
I guess
I mean,
you
there's a
could-
registration fee for playing games, right? And you can lose, so
Yeah.
it's not
hard
easy to
lose.
lose them, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I like you lose a little bit here and there, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think of gosh. They even made it so the mini cackpot, no matter what, I think you gain more gil or more MGP from doing it than you would lose from getting a bad draw or whatever, right? Same thing with the jumbo. You do it no matter what, it's a positive. Yeah, so it would be great to actually have real gambling, but then again, like I don't know, the game is so international, and gambling laws are so
I think
weird
that
country
breaks
to country.
some international laws nowadays.
Yeah. It would be fun though. It would be really fun to put money down on a table for Fall Guy. It really would.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny if you could spectate matches and bet on people.
Yeah.
Oh
gosh, it would be so great to have a spectator mode for. You know what?
I want a spectator mode for a lot of things, honestly. But
yeah. Chocobo Racing needs it for sure. I
think Triad should have it too, because it'd be so fun if you could do like triple Triad in your house and like people could like spectate matches.
Yep, Mahjong, all this stuff. All these things are like wonderful modes to put spectator mode in, which exists because PvP has it, right? I guess it would be a little bit different for those because it has a different UI and everything, but I don't know. I'm on board with trying to make mini esports out of our Gold Saucer attractions. But Fall Guys going away is, I think, something that made a lot of people sad to know that it's not going to just be around, because Monster Hunter is always in the game, right? It doesn't just disappear. But it is kind of weird to have, if say Fall Guys got really popular inside of Final Fantasy 14, then people would think of Fall Guys instead of Final Fantasy 14 for something that's fun, right? Is that a bad thing? They're playing Final Fantasy 14, but they're being sold on Fall Guys instead of the other way around.
I mean, I think it's fun.
Yeah, because it's not really like
fine, yeah.
It's not like you're playing Fall Guys. I mean, you're playing Final Fantasy Fall. Like if you just look at it, like just like I get very like Final Fantasy vibes, and I do like that they included things like putting like Yojimbo up on that like column or whatever. Like there were a lot of little like kooky things in there and the mechanics are very like, oh, we're gonna give you the confusion thingy above your head, and like that's what's so it's very like it seems like they're involving 14 stuff just into like the format of a Fall Guys match, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, I guess it's not too big of a deal. I do think it would be interesting for them to add a new Final Fantasy Gold Saucer thing. Like when they were talking about Gold Saucer things, you know, we're all thinking about Blitzball, we're all thinking about snowboarding or something like that. Do you think they're going to add anything else? Like once Fall Guys is done, do you think they're going to add something else to kind of keep us going into Gold Saucer now? I mean, what do people do in Gold Saucer at the moment besides just kind of queuing up for gates and every once in a while, maybe, doing a jumbo cackpot?
Nothing.
Fashion report.
Oh, yeah.
Fashion report, yeah.
Yeah, I just
That's
like
about it.
I hope they add. My big hope is that they see this and people really like that it's like large group content in like the Golden Saucer that people really like, and kind of just like lean into that more, because even if they did like some sort of like, you know, Mario Party style type game where it just shuffled the gates and like you could queue up with friends and like it would like put you like competitively into like they could do stuff with like stuff they already have that would be really fun if it involved more people.
Yeah. Leaderboards, besides Lords of Verminion and Triple Triad have leaderboards, but I don't think anyone pays attention to them.
Nope.
The Triple Triad tournament leaderboard is serious business.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm still missing one of the platinum cards, so it's a pain in the butt.
Can't you get those cards from like the tome events, the mock tome events, every once in a while?
I don't think so.
Really?
You could get the Warrior of Light from the last one.
Oh, okay, but not the ones that are the pro
there's some that you have to do tournaments for.
Yeah, like Lightning and Titus, like they have to come. Well, no, maybe I don't know, but some of them have to. I'm missing one of them.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have fun with this when it comes out. What really sucks is that it's being implemented on the same day that the Variant and Criterion dungeons are coming out.
Tell me about it. Oh my god.
So it's kind of BS on Halloween. So it's going to be a fun Tuesday, but if I'm going to be tracking the world race and everything, maybe I should track Fall Guys instead of Criterion.
It's going to be the strangest weekend of my life.
It's my
The Five Nights at Freddy's movie into the World Race into the Fall Guys tournament. Never thought I'd say that, but you know.
my partnerversary for stream is on the 31st, so I'm just like, all right, I guess I'll just do all Fall Guys, and I just want to get one of those like inflatable Fall Guys costumes.
Yes.
I think that'd be so funny.
Yeah, no, that would work out really well, actually. Well,
I'm on the Fall Guys train.
yeah, it's I've never played Fall Guys.
It's actually really fun.
Neither
It's
have
pretty
I.
fun, yeah.
Really, Jesse? Like,
No, I've never played it.
I keep hearing about it so much. When it came out, I knew it was like super popular. I was like, that's a really cool thing. It's around the same time that the Sussy game was coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that stuff was kind of blowing up, and I don't know what it was. I just never got into it, and now I will play it in Final Fantasy 14, and maybe I'll get so addicted to it in Final Fantasy 14 I'll go and play it for real. But it's free, so like, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason not to play it.
I don't know if it's still around, but they have the reverse collab over
Right,
there already
yeah.
happening, and it's been happening for a while.
But then like all that weird stuff happened with them recently too, right? Or a lot of their
I am
team
unaware.
got
too.
let go. Am I wrong about that?
Oh, the Epic Games employee thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that affected how much that affected Fall Guys, if it did, but yeah,
Mhm.
the Epic layoff stuff.
I don't know if that was just a rumor or not, but I heard a lot of them got laid
No,
off.
that happened. A lot of people lost their jobs. It was really
Yeah.
unfortunate.
But I heard it was a lot to do. A lot of people from the Fall Guys team lost their job in particular.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine they did.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So it's just such weird timing that happened, and all the excitement for this was coming out. I was like, oh, that kind of puts a damper on it, but it looks like it didn't slow anything down for us. I am excited for it. I'm hoping that it's just as goofy as Chocobo Racing can be sometimes. And we will host some events before it goes away. They didn't say an end date, right?
No.
Not that I'm aware of.
Just
Hey.
at some point.
When's the next Chocobo race tournament?
I was thinking about like, I don't know, next week or something.
Okay.
Right
You know
now.
what? I'm ready. Because last time I showed up and I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. Everybody's going to be hanging out. I made the Omega Giga Chocobo.
Did you?
He's ready. Yes.
You remember who won
All
that?
5 pedigree.
Arthur's
it-
won that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was Happy. Because doesn't he have a really good one?
I doesn't matter because of the syncing, right? And so you
Yeah,
have to
the
kind of take all that
syncing.
stuff into an account.
But I'm just saying, he's ready.
There's some charity stuff that's coming down the line, actually at the beginning of next month, that maybe it would fall in line pretty well with it. So I might. I was thinking about doing this, and I'm spitballing here. I've been spitballing this for a while. It's Frosty's Winter Games.
All right,
Oh.
cool. Confirmed. Chat, roast him alive if it doesn't happen.
Oh, okay. All
Flip it and
right.
ship it.
And I was thinking about doing events, all Gold Saucer, like Mahjong, Triple Triad, Chocobo Racing.
Oh my god, please.
That'd be so
please invite me
fun.
for Mahjong. Please.
I was thinking about doing all. I just have to figure out how to make it work from a spectator point of view. All right.
I'll shoutcast it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could shoutcast Mahjong.
I could shoutcast Mahjong, yeah.
I've run some triple triad tournaments before, so I'm down to run that part if you need someone.
Okay. I was thinking about doing a PvP tournament and then doing some PvE gauntlet as well in there. You just have it be like a big event for the LoL that's going on right at the start of next year.
I like it.
Sounds fun.
We'll see. Anyways, Fall Guys. Hopefully it's still around when that's going on, and we'll do a Fall Guys iteration as well.
Jesse will host Lords of Verminion, right, Jesse?
Huh? What?
Do you play
There's a
Lords of
gold
Verminion?
saucer? No, I don't do anything with a gold saucer. I'm gonna be honest.
Well,
Really?
now you do.
Now you do.
Time to start practicing.
Shoves a folder in your
get
chest.
trained up.
What? Start studying.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Just reading through the pages.
I do want to do a Lords of Minion tournament as well. I think that would be kind of fun. The idea with a lot of this too is that it's going to try to simulate Twitch rivals in a way where we're just kind of inviting like people in the community, content creators, and everything else to battle it out. I think that would be kind of fun to do it. So not everybody's like the perfect player, because you know content creators suck at video games. But you know, I think that'd be kind of fun to watch. But everybody can come and cheer for their favorite strummer. But that being said, we went into a whole nother tangent. We're EU FanFest.
Yeah.
I'll start from Fall Guys. All right. You know what was the other thing? La Chins or the graphical updates? Okay. You
got your dissertation ready, Whoops?
Yes. Okay. So, a polygon in a video game. This is where we need to start. A polygon. Just kidding.
So how do you guys... when you watch that, do you feel any differently than you did before? Do you feel enlightened, enriched, anything about the graphical changes that are coming?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I don't have much to say other than it looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something that I think is incredibly groundbreaking, but when we're talking about Square Enix and how 1.0 to 2.0 happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you think about all the corners that were cut, like objectively, it's like this is a huge breakthrough for them. Like, while it may not seem like a big step for a video game in general, for them specifically, doing something like this is a big deal. So maybe it could mean, you know, some even bigger things in the future, hopefully.
Well, I mean, like honestly, from all the in-depth stuff they went over within that panel, I feel like this is more important to them than it is to like a handful of players out here watching it. They went in like I saw a lot of different screenshots of just like the game engine and just how they were comparing the graphics and everything else, and like some of it's pretty subtle, but the one interesting part, it wasn't mentioned in this FanFest, but the previous FanFest, they talked about how not all the NPCs are going to be upgraded. And so all of this work's going to go into like a handful of them, but then every once in a while there'll be an old school NPC that'll show up and kind of like stand out, like maybe like a sore thumb. Just not
the
looks like
cloak.
Yeah.
Looks at WoW graphical update with old crunchy polygon characters still sometimes.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same thing.
That's
if you guys haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and go find Hien in game, or just Google a model of him and just look at his jacket.
Hien?
Lord Hien, yep.
Oh, you know, I haven't thought about Lord Hien in a while. How's he doing?
Not good. if you look at his model.
Oh no.
It looks like it was made with MS Paint.
It doesn't look bad from what I could see. I mean, I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I see it.
I don't know. Which part of it sucks?
Just the pixelation of all of his designs on his yellow jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can see it at the bottom of his coat.
Very noticeable.
Now I gotta Google
It's a little
it.
crunchy.
You know.
Wait, they sell his attire in the store. Is it crunchy in the store too?
It probably is, yes.
Oh Lord.
Well, I mean, actually, Stormblood was the last time that PS3 was allowed, wasn't it? Or was that before before Stormblood? Did they cut it out? When did they cut out PS3?
Too late.
Well, it's on sale for $8 if anyone wants.
Let's see. I see an article for it.
2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Same time I had Jesse.
Wow. What a coincidence.
The foliage looked really good too from what they showed. There was a specific slide they showed that was like around when they were showing the dungeons, I think. I don't know if it was.
Was it the palm tree?
It was the palm trees, and then it was in a cave, and there was a hole in the ceiling with the lights coming through, and the lights looked awesome, and like he had to actually specify. I remember he said, "This is an in-game screenshot." And everyone was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, that's like the big thing that I noticed from a lot of the engine stuff that they're showing off for all the graphical things. Is like the lighting looks way better in certain areas, and I know from the last Fan Fest, I think they were showing the inside of like Doma Castle, with the new lighting and like the gold shining in it inside the building. It looked amazing.
Well,
like,
have y'all
looks really
done
good.
1000 Moz since they've updated it?
Huh.
Mm-mm.
No.
It looks good. Like it actually feels like a new dungeon. Like I recommend doing it because that was my least favorite dungeon of all time in this entire game because I thought it was just disgusting. And they like it's like they were like practicing the lighting improvements and stuff in there. So it's a really cool like peek into I guess what they're trying to do to a lot of things in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this has to be stuff that they've been thinking about in the background for a while because games they need to keep this game alive for a very, very long time. At least another 10 years, right? And so
well, they said at EU Fan Fest, I guess they said that this new arc is supposed to be longer than the first one. So I guess that's their plan. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I mean, let's see. I'll be getting closer to 50, I think, by the time that arc is done. So I'll be aging out at some point. I don't. You guys think you're gonna be doing content creation for Final Fantasy 14 until you're in your real old age?
Yeah,
gray hairs.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
I got nothing better to do.
I mean, true. We could all have like a Final Fantasy 14 retirement home
until Final Fantasy 21 or something comes out, the new MMO.
Yeah.
And then we'll be the old guy.
Yeah.
How's going and doing it.
I remember when they did the graphics update. Been years.
The
you guys don't know what bad graphics
Fantasy
looks like.
Dude, telling people about like the attributes that you used to have to manually give yourself every time you leveled up is gonna be like hieroglyphics at that point.
And you had to swap them for Scholar and Summoner.
Yeah,
accuracy. Talking about that.
Oh god.
Oh,
what are you talking about, Grandpa?
Gosh. Well, I think I'm hoping a beautiful game will bring in a lot of people to play this game. Although we have a pretty healthy base of people who play, right? I mean, it's not like we're light on players currently. But I guess you could always use more. Unless if you're I mean, the biggest concern I think is when players are trying to do like Party Finder or something on like Crystal. Right? And you go to Aether.
Yeah. I mean, data center travel really did people just congregate to where they think everyone is, and that's going to cause problems.
Yeah. And so that might lead into the cloud server stuff that they're doing. I think, right? Is the cloud server stuff possibly going to give us regional Party Finder? Or is that a theorized thing, I guess? I don't know how to say that.
I don't think that's ever going to be possible, technically.
Really?
Yeah.
How? Why?
Because their servers are still separate physical objects, right?
Sure. But
and the data of us playing would have to be on one at a time. It couldn't be on two. Right?
Well, I mean, so in a way, if you are, how they do you can transfer your server to another data center or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. And so let's say they find some way to at least create the creation of like a lobby or a room or something for you guys to find other players to do stuff. At least some way of making a party finder where you guys can get in a cross data center party finder, at least in the communication part, right? Mm-hmm. And then once you're ready to queue in, it just takes a little bit longer for it to sort all the characters and do that data center transfer kind of for you.
Something like the Triple Triad Battle Hall.
Does that work with data centers too?
No, I don't think so. But it is like an instance where you go to essentially queue cross server for something that's usually only on the server.
That would be really nice. Like, I really want the regional stuff. I think that'd solve a lot of problems. Because right now, I'm not sure how familiar you guys are, but like when people want to PF a fight, they go to Aether.
Oh yeah, I'm on Aether, so I don't have to care about it. But yeah,
right. But like that's a big problem.
Yeah,
when
it's
you
a
think
huge
about
problem.
it. So
It is a huge problem, and I think that should be solved. And again, the easiest way to solve that would be to create this system that would allow you to at least queue your groups into a party of some sort, and then do the transfers after the fact, right?
Yeah.
And so you're basically prepping a group to do transfers to a single area. I think they could do it with the technology they have.
it'd be
Just
nice.
the entering the instance would take a little bit longer.
On the topic of the cloud server tests, though, I really hope they're not planning to have Amazon run the servers or something like that.
Did they say anything about?
No, they never said anything about Amazon, but like, you know, thinking of who runs cloud servers for major game services and stuff, you kind of wonder if it's like Amazon or Google or Microsoft.
I mean,
Which I
they're
would
all evil, right?
Not be happy for.
But yeah, no, we'll see how that works out. I don't know. I don't know enough about how they're doing their server setup to actually even be concerned about it. Did they mention that they think that it's going to improve the quality of game, like your latency or anything else?
Well, I don't imagine they'd do it if they didn't think that, right?
I mean, it's probably cheaper. I think they're just, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's a money thing. It has to be a money thing. It's one of those situations to where they're probably trying to save money in general. It's probably safer and more secure in some way too. But I don't know.
And then they'd also have East Coast servers like they mentioned in the keynote.
So, wait a minute. Did they mention that in the keynote? Did I miss that?
Yep. When they were talking about the cloud server stuff, they said it'd be on the East Coast. The physical location would be on the East Coast.
Man, I hate talking about cloud technology.
Me too.
I hate it
Because I don't understand half of it.
I know. I'm just not gonna say anything here.
Because
It's just a big thundercloud over the U.S.
yeah.
and all the data goes up there, and somehow it comes back down.
I mean, there's always going to be physical servers somewhere. It's just the technology that makes it happen is considered a cloud because it just functions differently. I don't know. I don't want to.
We are not qualified to talk
Yeah.
about
I
that.
don't think we're
Is the
qualified to talk about
TLDR.
it. They said we could test it though, right? They're
Yeah.
going to give a whole bunch of stuff out to people to test to make new characters on this stuff.
50 million gil and Tales of Adventure. I don't know how many, but
But that's just for a new character, right? 50 million gil will buy you a house. Big
50
house.
million gil will also get you the gil mount, baby. Let's go. Logs in, buys the gil mount, logs out.
I've done my due diligence.
Yeah.
The crazy we were talking about this during Reclares earlier, but like if you think about it, it's kind of like Final Fantasy Iron Man. Because the economy is going to be dead and everybody's going to have to be crafting stuff.
Yeah.
So,
It's kind of fun.
But
it
it
could
all
be like
goes
a
away
1 week
afterwards,
Iron
or am I
Man for
wrong?
anyone who wants to.
Wait a minute.
What'd you say?
Does it all go away at some point?
Yeah, they're nuking the server, I think.
Yeah. So it's just, but they just give you a pat on the back for doing it, I guess, afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Are content creators already planning to be like world first? Like
World
I don't
first
know.
what?
world first ultimate clear on cloud server or something? I don't know.
Cloud server ultimates.
Get every ultimate clear before the servers get nuked.
Yeah. You know, new free trial update. Well, free trial ultimate time, free trial savage, all kinds of stuff that will pop up from that. So now we're in the cloud server. Yeah. I would think that there's some people who are going to try to gun for House of the Dead cloud server world first.
I'm gonna get big fish before the server goes away.
Oh,
I don't know if that's possible.
You'd have to get really lucky.
Yeah.
Man. They should give the people who tested out some reward on their main account, though. It would make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't mentioned anything like that, have they?
Ooh, imagine a title.
Title beta tester? It could be
Beta tester.
cloud tester. You know, anything like that could be good, and you know, no one else could get it afterwards, so it's unique. That would get a lot of people to test it out.
That'd make a lot of people mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are people so mad about things being exclusive and unobtainable?
This is a whole can
That's-
of worms you're
yeah,
about to
that's-
open up.
That's a podcast topic.
Careful, XIV Twitter's already raging their big forks for you.
Gosh. I mean, it's all right. It's okay for things to be unique. Okay.
They shouldn't lock cute mounts behind hard content.
It's not gonna be hard forever, right? You'll eventually get it.
Pushes up my glasses. Actually,
You know what? The I do think they should have swapped the Bahamut mount and axolotl out. The Bahamut mount you get from all the extremes. That should have been the P12S mount, I think. And they should have put the axolotl in the extreme ones because you know that's for babies. Did I trigger people
Interesting
properly
take.
there?
Yeah. Somebody's screaming right now at that.
Okay.
Good job.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I could.
I didn't even know there was an axolotl amount.
Yeah, it's wait.
Oh, wait a minute. Am I
spoilers.
spoiling?
Spoiler!
Oh!
Oh no.
Technically, I guess I didn't know that was a thing.
Well,
Okay.
you don't play much besides just
Yeah.
logging in for raid, right?
Yeah.
Like a bunch of people have it. They use it all the time.
Wait a minute. Sorry, I didn't follow it, but are you guys approaching all your Savage content completely like without
What,
info?
blind?
Or?
Yeah, they do it. Blind.
Yeah, completely blind. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyways, skip and go next topic. So let's yeah, we're on. We have not done this very cleanly. And you know what? That's okay too. EU FanFest. We've talked about cloud servers. We've talked about Lalafell we've talked about Fall Guys.
That's it.
Literally
probably
all
nothing
the
else.
stuff that's not nearly as important as maybe like the new job, right?
Actually, just not even talking about Dawn Trail.
Don't talk about Dawn Trail at all. None of this has anything to do with Dawn Trail. Oh man, we're doing it. We're doing it. Okay, so let's talk about Dawn Trail a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about Viper. Did any of you guys even have an inkling that's what the new job was going to be like?
Yes.
Really?
Like what I think it's gonna play like?
Well, before they announced it was Viper, all right? Did you think that they were going to say the melee is going to be Viper and it's going to be a dual?
Well, I didn't think it was
Sword
gonna be
wielding.
Viper. Oh, I assumed it was going to be some kind of dueling melee, obviously,
Mhm.
because I don't think a lot of people caught this, but we were totally right about it when we freaked out about it. At the NA Fan Fest, when they showed the Dawn Trail trailer, there's a moment at the end where Warrior of Light is on the boat and he's like looking out over the sea. His hand it looks like he's resting it on a hilt of something, and people
Sure.
thought it was either a pistol or another sword.
Mm.
And he was holding it out just in the air, and it was on nothing. They removed it. And then when the EU FanFest one came up, the sword was actually there, and he was indeed resting his hand on that hilt of the other sword.
Hmm. Okay.
I caught that on the first one. I knew it was going to be either a pistol or another sword, so that's what I was expecting.
I thought
A
it
lot
was
of-
going to be a pistol, like a pirate style
Yeah,
thing,
I
one-handed.
thought it was going to be
sword and a
Corsair, and it was
pistol.
going to be
Yep.
like the dueling sword and like the pistol, you know?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were all about it being Corsair. Of course, our sponsor, Corsair, would have loved that.
Mhm.
I'm sure. But yeah, no, that's a little bit of a surprise. There's a whole new concept, which I think is good. It's good for them to. I mean, it's not the concept. I don't think is. to let me walk that back. The name of the job and some of the beats of it are new to Final Fantasy 14. Dual wielding, fast blade dancer type jobs are not new to Final Fantasy though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very, very similar to Ninja. But I mean, at this point, they're kind of running out of weapons
Are
to
they?
use. Yeah.
Are they?
What do we not have?
We don't have nunchucks.
A whip.
As
We don't
a
have a
physical,
whip?
Bell.
We don't have like staff
Hammer.
melee fighting. We don't have Gosh, I could probably come up with a good handful of things. Yeah, a lot of maces and hammers.
Hammers.
You
I
know?
want a hammer so bad.
Flail.
Yeah,
Dual wield
flails.
shields, please. Please, I beg you. Please.
Oh, dual wielded. What's his name?
Yeah, the guy from Cape Westwood.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love that. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
You know, something I thought would be really cool is what's it in Praetorium? Nero's using the rocket hammer.
Oh, that'd be awesome too.
Yeah.
That'd be
Sick.
sick.
Yeah, yeah. It's just why not bring Monster Hunter weapons into it? You got a whole bunch of
Magnet
stuff.
spike. Holy shit.
There's so much blitz ball. You could have a ball. Right.
Oh yeah, unlike the chemist, I know was discussed a lot over the past like years.
Yeah, alchemist or chemist
Mhm.
technically.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool as a limited job where like it actually does use craftables as like part of its kit, but like it's a limited job so people don't complain.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. But
Yeah.
with the with Viper, a lot of people are like, you know, they had the whole Toy Story meme where everybody was like dropping the Reaper and don't want to play with you anymore.
Every X-Pack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm not really as excited for Viper. No, I haven't played
Me
Reaper
neither.
yet. I'm more excited to play Reaper than I am to play the new one that comes in the expansion. So Reaper looks so much cooler to me than Viper does.
Mm-hmm. Especially after they showed the little gameplay teaser. I'm not gonna lie. I know exactly how the job's gonna play, and it's gonna be nothing new. In fact,
Yeah.
it's gonna feel old
Yeah.
right when it comes out.
Yeah, it's just a lot of little hits and big hits, right?
Yeah, you're gonna hold your dual blades out, right? And you're
Mhm.
gonna build your gauge or your resources by doing your combo.
Mm-hmm.
And then every 30 seconds or 60 seconds, you're gonna combine your swords and do a big spender for your gauge. And then every
Yeah.
2 minutes, you're gonna press the button that makes you blue, and then you're gonna press a really big button that you hope crits,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna repeat.
Oh.
Even just thematically, like I'm not personally big on like the edgy jobs, and I feel like kind of Reaper was kind of edgy, and now this is kind of edgy, so I'm just like, it's not really me, I guess.
I tweeted that last night, what I just said, and I got roasted alive.
Oh no.
You're not a Dark Knight fan either?
But I was right. I'm gonna be right.
They were upset because he spoke the truth.
Yeah. You know, the one thing that does make it sort of appealing is when he does combine it and turn it into like
Yeah,
the-
it does. look
That I
cool.
think is really cool personally.
It does
reminds
look
me-
really
I like the
flashy, and I'm
template
sure
thing.
it's gonna be fun. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
I'm just not super excited.
Chrono
so.
Cross, right? Is that the game that has the staff, the two blades on the end? I'm thinking of.
I have no idea.
Wait a minute, you guys don't know
Wow.
anything about Chrono Cross?
I played
Nope.
Chrono Trigger, but not Chrono Cross.
Really?
Not that old.
Oh God, fuck. All right. All right. We're getting off this conversation then. God. That appealed to me. And so I was kind of excited for it a little bit, but it doesn't look, and I hate, the worst thing that you can do is say you're not excited about something in the Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 14 community sometimes and just
Oh.
get destroyed. Right? I'm
No,
not that-
you're very
Yeah.
justified to not be super excited about something. It's okay, but yeah,
Mhm.
I do hope that when we see more, hopefully at the JP Fan Fest, they show a new unique little twinge that they've added to it that'll make me be like, oh, maybe I'll pick
Yeah.
that up. Maybe it'll
I'd
be
like to
fun.
see what the limit break would look like. I'm guessing it's a giant snake, sort of
Yeah.
like a giant dragon for Dragoon, but it's just going to be a
That's
snake.
actually really cool, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I would guess. Is something similar to that.
I think the thing with
Yeah.
the trailer itself is like it didn't show too much other than kind of, the flashy sword movement and then combining it, right? I feel like they
And then
might have
they showed
held
the
back a
big
little
move,
bit.
too.
Yeah, they showed the big move and the glowing
Mhm.
blue thing, right? They
Mhm.
might have held back a little bit for some stuff, but it's hard to say, and we wouldn't even know until one, it comes out, and then obviously the job trailer stuff for maybe a couple more things.
Yeah. I guess did they go into detail if it's going to be a little bit on the support side or just a heavy DPS side?
I don't think they went into detail about that at all. I don't think so.
They had a slide of the concept of the job. I forget what was on it though.
Okay.
It wasn't anything like, whoa! It was just like, oh, yep, that's what we expected.
It has swords, and it turns into a big one, and then they attack. Okay.
And it's not like Square Enix has been accurate in the past about describing how their own jobs play, so that wouldn't even be much to go off of. Just being completely honest.
Fair. Okay. Well, to be honest though, I probably would like to play it more than I would like to play Ninja. Ninja frustrates me a little bit because I just get bunnied a lot.
Yeah, I have a hard time with Ninja, so I'll probably like it better than that too, because I like Monk, and it seems maybe it'll be more in line with that then.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want a gamer ninja trick?
Sure.
I've learned after playing it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So you're trying to remember the ingredients to your recipe, right? For your mudras, right? All that matters is the amount of mudras you press and the one you end on.
Yep.
When you think about it like that, it's way easier.
Okay.
It's just really hard when it's like a job that you only care to play every once in a while, because like I don't even want to use my brain space to think about that. Is the thing.
Yeah.
So, I just like leave it alone.
It's tough.
Sophie, what's your main job again?
Oh, I play the healers, but I also like the casters. I like a lot of the jobs in the game, but yeah, I mostly heal.
Okay. Which healer again?
It really just changed it. Like
Really?
I currently Scholar and White Mage, but like I was playing Astro before. Yeah, I just changed like because I get bored if I'm just like playing the same thing every single raid tier.
That's fair. I can tell you I have not gotten bored of Sage at all.
Sage is cool. Yeah.
Sage very fun.
So good.
Sage is really fun.
Yeah.
I really want them to make it so Astro doesn't have to like pull a card before like however long before a pull, because like my ADHD brain literally just can't do it. Like I just forget.
You just don't do it.
Well, I will, and then the whole team is staring at me like, "Are you going to pull a card?" And I literally feel so awkward, so I just can't play the job.
Like the old days of waiting for AoE balance for minutes at a time.
It'd be kind of cool if like you just started a new poll every time with a balance card already drawn.
Yeah,
like automatically gave you one.
I mean, they fixed it for Scholar, because Scholar used to have to Aether Flow like 30 seconds before a pull, and I couldn't do that either. So I just that's like my main wish for 7.0 Astro, is make it so I don't have to do something however many seconds before we pull.
They could just do ability call it predetermined focus or something. It has to be used outside of battle, and just you can pull a balance card to start. You're done.
Yeah.
Boom.
Easy.
Or just start out with whatever card you want. I mean, why not?
It's stacked deck. Yeah, call it stacked.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see more on that. I'm sure they'll give us more details over at the JP FanFest and moving forward with the job. Right now, it's just cool to at least know. It's not, I don't think people could have sort of threw it out there as a possibility that it could have been this job. I don't think anyone was very confident, hey, this was going to be a job called Viper that was based around snakes. That was really fast.
Okay, but was there, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the actual Viper trailer, I didn't actually feel like there was any snake theming at all from what we saw.
Yeah, that's why I said they might have been holding back a little bit on certain things.
Yeah,
because like that would be cool, but it just looked like a lot of like lights to me, and I didn't see any like snake stuff.
Yeah, I think it was just in a lot in the artwork and in the name, and I'm guessing they'll show a little bit more on a job trailer and everything else. But that, a lot of people were spectating the new job was going to be something like Green Mage, and they were taking the green from everything. They saw the clover at the end of the trailer. Well, hold on. Am I spoiling anything for anyone here about main story quest?
I'm fully caught up on MSQ.
Not me.
Okay. All right. The clover at the end of the MSQ, right? I think a lot of people were still trying to predict that had something to do with it, but now,
Yeah.
no, not at all. Not even close, right?
It really honestly wasn't even a prediction. Like, I noticed that people were just straight up like, yes, it is green mage. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold
will
up.
be
There's
this.
a lot of things pointing to it. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, they could do green mage as the
For the
range.
caster.
Yeah, the magical range.
Isn't Green Mage's whole shtick like debuffs and stuff, like dots? Right? Isn't that their whole thing?
I can't even remember, to be honest with you.
Because if it is, at least that's what I've heard. It's kind of weird. It's kind of the opposite of what 14 job design has shifted from, right? Like they don't really want dots anymore, that type of thing. It's not really like a thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of.
Yeah, they're getting, because sustained versus burst and issues that certain jobs have. But I mean, that all comes down to fight design and everything else and making that stuff work.
Yeah.
Maybe
think
that's
the
why
other-
they took the dots from summoner, because
I mean,
they're moving them to green mage.
I can definitely see it working if it's a buffing and debuffing job.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because 2-minute meta. So it'll just have a 60-second buff and a 2-minute buff, and then boom. One will be for crit, one will be for damage. And then they
Man.
can have like a personal or something that'll tie to somebody else that they can give to the melee. And just...
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The other theory that I've heard, at least for the caster, was Pictomancer. So it'd be something similar to Blue Mage, but for like actual content that
Yeah.
they could do.
Yeah, I could probably see some of that too. And it would line up with the shirt Yoshida wore as well, so it'd be a 1 for 2, right? Or 2 for 1, whatever. But he hasn't worn like a second shirt or anything yet, right? Did I miss anything like that? No.
Nah,
He's
No.
only ever worn one shirt in
it was
his
just the
entire
TMN
lifetime.
t-shirt, and then he was cosplaying yesterday or today, I guess.
Yeah, he was cosplaying today. He has to love that. Wouldn't it be so cool to like come out on stage and have everybody cheering for you?
Yeah.
You're wearing some awesome cosplay custom built for you.
The stuff is
Envy.
really high quality too. Like the
Yeah.
detail on it is insane.
100%. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the pictures right now. And man, Final Fantasy loves its belts.
Nomura cooked here.
Yeah.
Man. Well, yeah, before they were yeah, now that I'm starting to think about it, removing all the belts and they put it on Yoshida's cosplay. Jeez. All right.
So that's where the belts went. Oh my gosh, it makes sense now.
Viper took them all.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the new job. The trailer, mostly it seemed like they added a couple just cute little things in there, and they added Viper, a little bit of Viper shots in there, but that's about it, right?
I
I remember the other thing they added. It was the Estinian thing.
hunting the S rank from
Oh,
Elpis, and there was a Nutkin.
Oh yeah, the Nutkin.
mm-hmm.
Don't remember what else.
I think that was all
They
I
added
noticed.
the sword on the boat cutscene.
Yeah, they added that so they could make it more obvious.
I think that was it.
So are we going to get an extended cut 2 at JP?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm guessing at least.
I can't remember if they usually do 3 iterations of it or just 2.
I know Yoshi P said that like Soken had mentioned that the music as well was going to get updated again, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Something along those lines. So it might just be for the third trailer.
Okay. Yeah, everyone in chat is telling me, yeah, idiot. 3. They're gonna have it over at JP. So, all right, cool.
God, have you not paid attention to the exact cycle for the last decade?
I mean, like, they've done it with just 2 before, I think.
no.
I never remember. I'm always asking, like, what did they do?
Yeah. They change it up every once in a while. What'd you guys think about the new town, new area?
I am very excited for one of the, I can't remember the exact name of the zone, but it's like this huge mountainous area and it's got these massive waterfalls and like the colors in the upper part of it are so pretty. I cannot remember the name of the zone though.
Well, there's Toliatl. I'm not going to pronounce this right. Yaktel Yorkapaka. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. There's Kazama Yuka. Shaloni. I think I pronounced all those correctly.
I think Shaloni was the secret zone one that they showed off. I think.
The Kozama one is the one I think Jesse's talking about.
Okay. Let me make sure I go back to it. So I got my little list here, my little links. Oh, the giant jutting.
Yes, yes, that's it.
It's like they, what was it? There's one of these ridges in
Thavnir.
Thavnir, right? And then they're like, just copy paste that a whole bunch of times.
Boom, 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 boom.
The edge of the zone.
I couldn't stop thinking about how the water was flowing up the peaks and then falling off.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
yeah,
was
that's
it?
cool.
Yes.
I didn't even notice.
I'm trying to see that. Is there a?
I love the way the area looks. That's so cool.
It looks really awesome.
I think the thing that makes it kind of stand out, and this is not to fire shots at the other zones, but some of the other stuff they showed off, they look good, but not quite as like distinct as that zone and Saloni, I think. I think those two zones definitely pop out a lot more than the other two that were shown off first.
Yeah.
If you go back to thinking about Thavnir, it was like it initially seemed really pretty, and then like you get outside of the main settlement, and then it's just like dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
grass.
looked like, at least from what we've seen, they added a lot more foliage and like pathways and stuff.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, they can never show us the really, really cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why they had big old secret text on Saloni.
Mm-hmm. Like, how much of the moon did we see before, right? How much of like, I mean, we saw a little bit of it, I guess.
When you mentioned that big secret text that was covering the thing in the sky, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys see the Amano artwork at the end? They shared?
Yes, the one that referenced to Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah, it was the Final Fantasy 3 reference. If you look up in the top right corner, there's like this thing, and you're like, "Hey, what's that?" There's also like a big like serpent looking thing below him, but like that thing that's in the sky in the top right, I don't know, but I think that's the thing that they were like covering with the secret. I don't know.
Okay.
What's that?
What's that, guys?
Also, why were we inside a giant computer?
Yeah.
For that dungeon picture.
I was thinking that's probably tied to Saloni in some way, because they brought up the fact that like that area has to do with like ceruleum deposits and stuff or something. So they're definitely like kind of tied together. I think my immediate thought was like Garlean stuff, but that's mostly because of like early FF lore.
Holds
and
my
all that
hands
stuff.
up like the Discovery Channel guy. Elegance.
Yep.
Yeah.
That too.
Oh man, it does look really cool. I'm hoping that at least one of these ends up in the media tour. I'm sure one or two of these will, and we'll get to be able to. Sorry, I read chat, laughed, and I don't care enough to repeat it. You guys got
also Eliminator kind of sticks out a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
A little bit of a sore thumb.
What do you guys think about Eliminator? They're just like new threats, bad guy. Is this?
They were like, here's this pretty area, la la la. You're on summer vacation, and that first map they showed was literally like a resort. Like you could see like the little cots on the beach, and there's like drinks and everything. And then they're like, anyway, here's this Eliminator.
The Eliminator.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really threatening out of nowhere.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I saw that. And it's just like, it's pretty hardcore now. What is the Eliminator gonna,
Dude.
I'm assuming it's gonna try to eliminate the world, right?
I tweeted a picture of the Eliminator. I said, what kind of summer vacation is this? And somebody replied, oh, they actually just have these in Brazil.
Wait.
That killed me.
No, Sophie. They don't have those in Brazil.
I'm scared of the Eliminators in Brazil now. They're gonna go after the capybaras.
So I don't play many other Final Fantasies. Is the Eliminator like a thing that we've seen before?
From the ones that I've played, no. That
Not
I've
that I
seen.
know
I've played
of.
through like about 9 other games.
There's
Interesting.
G Eliminator. And this is from which game?
The
This is from
first
Crisis
one,
Core.
the first one they showed off, the like Quetzalcoatl looking thing, that's from 6. That's one of the espers from 6. But Eliminator, I have no clue. I don't recognize it at all.
Thematically, I don't know where that fits in. Like, what
Eliminator?
race or like place or group, I guess, looks like that, right?
I mean, what I'm seeing, the most, at least the one that repeats the most is it's just something called Chi Eliminator from Crisis Core. There's a Tiamat Eliminator, but I don't think there's anything just called Eliminator in anything that I'm Googling
It was
here.
gold and purple.
Oh no,
and it
G
looked like it
Eliminator
had,
is
like,
not anywhere
Yeah.
near close to that. Yeah.
energy, and it had like the big hoop on its head.
Yeah. Let's
I mean,
see.
the closest guess would be like Eliminator being some like buried ancient weapon thing, right? With the whole like high tech area that they showed off. That's about the only guess that I have for it.
Man, there
I
was.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just thinking out loud. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like the other one that they showed off, obviously probably tied to like some Beast Tribe thing, or I don't know, like it's much more fitting of the general aesthetic of the expansion. And then Eliminator's just kind of there. It's like, where does he come from? What made him? Is he a machine? Is he a person or something? They even made a comment about that when they were talking about him. Like, whoa, what could he be?
Do you guys remember what the Endwalker threat was?
Anima.
Do you remember how much anima played a part in the story for Endwalker?
Zilch.
I don't remember
And I was
barely.
just thinking the same thing, actually.
Yeah,
the
How
dungeon
about
boss?
this is probably going to be a dungeon boss.
It's
and we're
probably
gonna
gonna be a
go,
dungeon
That was a
boss.
thing, and then it's gone.
Oh.
Because they did the exact same lead up with Anima, where they were like, "This is the big threat of the upcoming expand," and then it was like a boss in a dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a really cool boss.
Yeah,
Or,
I
thought-
or
agree.
like
Oh, yeah.
the lunar Bahamut. Remember, we were like, "Hey, that's really bad," and then we just like smacked it up. before the
Oh,
video
yeah.
started.
It came out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's dead.
Oh.
Good times.
Yeah.
Glad we dealt with that, and that wasn't a problem at all.
And I am glad now that Square Enix has their social media, their press website uploaded. They have all the art there as well. That's pretty good. So now I can actually look at some of this stuff here too. Anyways, it looks really cool. It looks like it's going to destroy the world, but it may again equate to small dungeon boss. They're not really too big on giving us a lot of information about what we actually are going to expect out of the storyline and the enemies. Like even in, I guess Shadowbringers wasn't too bad. They told us about a couple of the threats too. They did end up being a decent part of the story, but they weren't like the core of it, right?
The ones I remember was like they definitely showed off Innocence. That was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember what the other one was that they showed off. It might have been no, I'm thinking of Stormblood. God, I can't remember.
It's because people are too good at theory crafting. Like if they told too much, people would like write out the entire story before it released.
Maybe. Yeah. So yeah, it again looks cool, but I'm gonna be sad when we're already past it within 3 levels. All right, what else do we have here? The new threat, the Moblins. You guys like the Moblins?
Love the Moblins.
They're cute.
I can't wait for Alex 2.0.
Yo, it's
I
all.
was just gonna say the same thing, man. Cowboy Alex.
Yes, he's got a big old cowboy hat.
Nope.
So Moblins, do you think that maybe they have a relation to the Eliminator the same way Alexander had their
That'd be
goblins?
interesting.
Oh.
That's an interesting idea. I
You
hadn't
just
considered
set
that.
off a neural network in my brain that just connected a bunch of possible theories.
Yep, that's the same thing that just happened to me.
Because they
Yeah.
said they're gatherers, right? They're very
Yes,
skilled gatherers.
they are.
So
They're very good at gathering. That's like their whole thing.
if they deal with like ceruleum and stuff, and they went up in the mountains and found that old Allegan technology and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
assuming it's Allegan or whatever it is, maybe they worship that as like their. I don't know.
And they're like,
Hmm.
man, these
Feed
humans
the
are
machine
coming. These Eorzeans. Let's eliminate
Become
them.
as gods.
Yeah.
Become as gods.
Become as God. Don't get near stuck in my head. Okay. All right, now we have a little bit of theory crafting. Maybe I need to get Moose on here and we need to talk to him a little bit about it. Get all hammered out. Let's see. The Moblins, the new dungeon, the Alliance Raid series.
FF11.
Final Fantasy 11.
How many of you play Final Fantasy 11?
Nope.
I did it once, not like
very
actually.
rarely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what you guys are saying is we have the absolute wrong people to talk about the Alliance.
Oh, absolutely. Very
Correct.
underqualified.
Oh, 100%. But I'm excited for the music because I
Yeah.
do know that FF11 music is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Ask Happy or Sindolf.
Happy send off. There's a handful of people I could bring on for 11. Fusion would be good too, I think. But there's a lot of people who've been around in the 11 days and played a good bit of it. Yeah, Arthur's as well. And but they just kind of announced it. Did they say a lot of details about
Mm-mm.
what the focus of it's
No.
going to be?
And in fact, what I learned about it is what's the name of it again? If you're looking at it,
It is the Echoes of Avanadale.
Avanadale. Is that how you
Vana-
say
I
it?
think it's
can't pronounce
Vanadil.
anything. Do not
Vanadil.
repeat what I
Vanadil.
say and how I pronounce things. 'Cause it's going to get you in trouble.
That I'm relaying information I was told. I'm not sure if it's right. I was told is like the equivalent of like Vanadale is like Eorzea. That's
Yeah,
like the
it
equivalent.
is. It's the FF11
So-
world.
It's
Mm.
like really like it's just a broad like, hey, we're going to Final Fantasy 11 land, or like we're learning something about it. It's not like a
kinda like-
specific series they have in 11. It's just like the world of 11.
How do you guys feel about that?
I just see it
It's
as
cool.
very similar to
I think it's
like
neat.
Ivalice as like a sort of, and I really liked the Ivalice series, so I'm kind of like feeling positive because I'm just thinking they'll have a really good basis for like cool Final Fantasy things and bosses and music, and then they can just like schnazz that up, which I think they do a bit better than not having a basis.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take any opportunity to learn about Final Fantasy 11 without actually having to play it.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should go back and play 11. I really should go back and play 11 just to do it.
You
To
don't
have
play
experience.
11. 11 plays you.
That's fair.
Behold, macros.
Behold, the most convoluted combat system ever created.
What am I even doing?
How did you guys feel about the recent alliance? Did you guys really like that one?
Like the
Yeah.
most released just
Yeah. Just
I
Dahlia?
thought it was alright.
I
okay.
thought
okay.
that whole series started strong, ended kind of weak.
I put
Yeah.
the Leah and D tier on my tier list, and I got roasted on Twitter. So
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Here's my whole thought process of it. There are certain alliances they put into the game that are just fun story things that are completely separate from the world. Then there's the one we just had, which gave us really in-depth knowledge of, or at least gave us knowledge that we needed about what is actually happening within the game itself. This is not going to add anything, I think, to our current world. It's just like, hey, here's something to kind of do.
Right.
And be a separate story. And I don't know how most people feel about that, if they want to learn more about the current world we're in, or just like having these fun collabs like Nier. That was a fun collab, right?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't like
Mhm.
anything serious about Final Fantasy 14, at least to my knowledge. You know, I could be told I'm wrong. Go ahead.
It gave us the answers and then immediately took them away from us from like the world, and then just gave us the lore of like what had happened before all this.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess is cool and all, but part of me really wishes they kept the deities around at some, like level.
They're around. People are still going to worship them,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, because technically they are the beliefs of what we make, right? But
yeah, and they're in the world.
Yeah.
So, the big thing to really just kind of note is that this is just not going to be advancing our storyline of the current game as much, and it's just going to be kind of a fun addition to it, which
is a good wrap up.
Yeah. Sure. Spofie, you were saying that you really liked Ivalice, which kind of did the same thing, sort of, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm obviously not like a huge lore person, but like for that reason, like I was excited about like this most recent series because I was like, oh, it's gonna be like Final Fantasy 14 original, like that's what I want. But then like I don't know, I was kind of disappointed afterwards at like from the perspective of someone that's not super into the lore. Like I felt like people who read the story were a bit more excited about it, but I just felt like even though I didn't play Nier, like the Nier series hit me harder. Like it was just like they do a really good job of like taking like existing stuff and like making it really cool.
Okay.
And so I just feel like it's like a strength of theirs. So I guess that's why I'm looking forward to it, because I just feel like it kind of will be snazzy.
Yeah, it'll be neat. It'll be fun. Maybe they'll add in Savage Alliance raids. That'd be pretty cool too. Give us a throwback to difficult days of Final Fantasy 11. I don't know.
Perhaps.
That's what I would be excited for. Is
wouldn't put money on it, but perhaps.
We're in the state to where we've been doing this for so many expansions now that it's just it's going to be cool and neat. And we've had cool and neat alliances for so long, and they have not changed that up at all to make them more interesting. I feel like it's time to systematically change the alliances a bit.
You could kind of say the same thing for our Savage content too. It's been the same structure since Heaven's Ward.
Yeah.
And even with the Alliance raid stuff, it's mostly the same formula. Yeah. And a lot of the time, they're usually kind of hit or miss depending on, I guess, your preference of what you want out of them, right? Like, do you want them more for their story? Do you want them more for like their visual appeal? Or, mechanically kind of depends, I guess. But at least to me personally, at least the most recent 24-mans, I liked the aesthetic of them a lot more. Like the most recent one, while it wasn't the most exciting, the second area that you go to before the second boss is gorgeous. That area looks amazing. It's before the water wind lady. Can't remember her name because I'm terrible with names. But before you jump into the arena, that whole area is just beautiful. Like 14's always been very good at designing like area, like their just area design, that type of thing.
Yeah, area design, map design, everything is always beautiful. Final Fantasy 14. They I don't think they've ever really failed on that. That I know of. Let's see.
I love the fact that I can know what to expect and get it with Final Fantasy 14. While it may seem like a little underwhelming and I won't get surprised, I also won't be... I can't be disappointed, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well,
I'm gonna get what I get, and then I'm gonna play it, and it's gonna be at least decent, and then I'm gonna be like, great.
We started off this whole discussion with being excited for Fall Guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so fucking excited for Fall Guys.
The later end of the discussion here, nothing to even do with the expansion or anything, but we're so amped up for this silly, crazy thing being implemented to the game that the stuff that we see all the time, it's hard to get really excited for stuff like this because it's not
the structured stuff, right?
Yeah.
Not much has changed.
You're gonna do it, and it's gonna be like, this is cool, and then move on. with whatever you currently do. There's no one who's dedicated, I don't think, to alliance raids in any way. Like there's whole communities trying to
there
do
is.
savage raid. Oh, is there?
Yeah, of course. You got to think about how many people play this game.
Sure.
There's people that will see the new expansion, they'll buy it, they'll play everything, and then they'll forget about the game for 2 years.
Okay.
That's what I used to do. I loved being able to come back to this game after a couple years and just be like, all this new stuff, play it once and go, that was really fun, and then
Yeah.
not do it again.
It is definitely easy to like lose the perspective of people who play differently when you're
The
in
larger
like
scope
when you're
of how many millions of people play
Mhm.
this game.
Yeah.
and when you're constantly just surrounded by people who play every day or like don't ever unsub, you know, you do lose that perspective of the experience of the player who does only come back here and there.
I mean,
I'm pretty
you're
sure
right.
there's a lot of people that only play the game really for like MSQ, right? So like
Yep.
Mhm.
they would just, new expansion comes out, play it, done deal. Maybe wait next couple patches, do more MSQ, done deal, come back later. So
Mhm.
definitely a lot of different perspectives within the community for basically everything.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what is this alliance raid doing? Do you think it's going to bring in a lot of people who are just kind of stuck in Final Fantasy 11 to finally try out Final Fantasy 14, or is it just a nostalgia hit for people who did play Final Fantasy 11?
I think it'll go both ways.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I could see it being both.
It'll make people appreciate the older game, and maybe a couple of them will go try it because you still can, even though making an account for that game is the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. And
Yes.
I am not exaggerating. It is so frustrating to try to set up an official Final Fantasy 11 service account. Anyways,
And you have to pay money just to have a character slot. I
Yeah.
was so confused.
yeah.
Mm.
I think it'll be a good way to get a bite size of what that world's like, and maybe people that want to can go check it out, and vice versa.
Oh yeah, you're right. I guess there is some sense of like people going from 14 to 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Square Enix doing a little bit of self-service, like they did with Nier,
Yeah.
right? They had a whole bunch of
They're
people trying
collabing with
Nier.
themselves, just like the 16th thing.
That's pretty smart. They're using Final Fantasy 14 to sell a whole bunch of their games, or at least get
Yeah.
like.
I mean,
Yeah.
14 was my first Final Fantasy game, and I went back and played a whole bunch of the other ones.
Same.
Yeah, jeez, 14 does so much for Square Enix. It's insane.
Yeah, it really does.
Literally saved the company.
Yeah. Man. Unlike Spirits Within. Sorry, you guys don't know that story, do you? Or do you know that story?
Uh-uh.
Spirits
Tell us,
Within?
Grandpa, tell us.
Spirits Within is the reason why Squaresoft is now Square Enix. That movie, The Spirits Within, Alec Baldwin was in it. He was one of the voice actors for it. Do you guys remember that movie? Do you even know what movie I'm talking about?
The name is
No.
very familiar, but I don't remember the specifics of it.
Well, so way back in the day, those Final Fantasy was doing really, really well. Really, really well. And I can't remember when that movie came out, when the timeline of video games, but 7, 8, 9, all these games are coming out and everything else. And 6 was doing really good. And then they were like, I want to make a movie. And so they made a movie called Spirits Within, and they put so much into that movie. So much into it. It had really good voice actors in there, all kinds of stuff, and it bombed hard.
Oof.
So hard. And so the Squaresoft merged with what was Squaresoft? What was their actual name? Squaresoft and Enix.
Just Enix.
Was it just Enix?
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, I guess it was, maybe.
Yeah, and so they had to do a merge there, and that's the only way that they could continue on as a company.
Keep everything going.
It was rough. It was rough. And so I think if Final Fantasy 14 didn't hold up, maybe I'm just, I don't know for real, but who knows? Maybe Final Fantasy 14 didn't serve Square Enix very well. They would now be like, oh no, Square Enix Com, Square Enix Cap. I don't know what they would be.
Enix Soft.
Enix Soft, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it was really interesting. I went back and watched it recently, and I was like, yeah, this is a bad movie. Then I heard Alec Baldwin talk, and I'm like, they put some money into this movie to get it out there. Square Tendo, maybe it would be Square Tendo. Yeah,
Square Tendo.
Oh God!
I just saw that too.
It'd be Square Cent.
Oh God.
No.
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 But I hope everyone who likes JRPGs and Square Enix games and Square Soft games are all appreciative towards Final Fantasy 14, at least for being able to kind of keep stuff together too. I don't know why we went on to this tangent. I think, just talking about cross collaborations and everything else.
Old Square.
Man, why are you guys not understanding half the references that I'm saying? This is really starting to concern me personally. That I'm just old.
When did this movie come out?
2001.
2001 is what Chad has said.
I was 6.
Yeah, I was also 6.
I was 7.
That's why, Frosty.
Yeah.
That's why.
At the very least, I had heard about it before. I've never seen it.
We were in like 2nd grade.
Bro, I was thinking about crayons and the peanut butter jelly sandwich in my lunch bag, okay?
No, I was 8. A little bit better.
I should just die.
Write your will, man. Bones and dust.
Oh my gosh. Oh, all right. Well, if you ever need some old man stories, I'll have some. Jesus. Well, what else about EU FanFest, friends? Do you guys want to go over? We had a good amount of topics. There wasn't like too terribly much, right?
We didn't talk about the limited job.
Oh, you're right. Totally.
Any
the lifestyle
predictions?
content too. Those two big notes. I almost went over. So limited job is something that they were.
Beastmaster.
You think Beastmaster? Yeah, I think Beastmaster too.
I have a couple people said that when I was watching it. I've never heard of Beastmaster from
You haven't?
what I've played. So what is it? What is Beastmaster?
I mean, oh gosh.
Go ahead.
At least in the old jobs, I believe its entire shtick was its weapon was a whip, and it would essentially, I believe, you would basically like capture enemies, right, and then use them to like help you fight
Like
enemies and stuff.
Pokemon?
Kind of, yeah. Very
Cool.
similar idea to that.
I think I don't know. I'm pretty sure when they first released Blue Mage and spoke about limited jobs and were like explaining them, I think Puppet Master and Beastmaster were the two that they brought up as like, oh, we might do these in the future. I mean, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's why a lot of people are like, okay, like maybe that's one of those is coming.
That would be really fun. Like going out into like the overworld and like capturing monsters and then
Yeah, because they have that in WoW, sort
That'd be fun.
of
Mhm.
like little Pokemon mini game.
Yeah.
Would that mean Blue Mage just kind of gets tabled for an expansion?
Hope
Oh,
not.
that's a good question.
Because I mean, like, it's a lot of work that they put into Blue Mage, right? It's not like a small thing to like create new content for it. So it seems kind of insane that they would be developing 2 limited jobs back to back.
Yeah, but they already did like the Blue Mage update that they most recently released already felt a bit scaled back from previous Blue Mage updates in terms of what they added. So maybe they're just going to do that going forward where like they add new skills, but like not a ton to the other related stuff.
All right, chat's informing us that they are definitely going to be doing Blue Mage updates.
Yeah, they said that.
I don't
Keynote.
think it's going to be, well, maybe scaled back in a way, right? I'm just trying to think of.
I mean, they could like alternate between the two, right? Like you'd have
Yeah,
like
'cause
one
we
time
only
cycle with
got-
Blue Mage, then one with Beastmaster, then one with Blue, and then back and forth.
Yeah.
Or they can use the gazillions of dollars they make to hire more people to work on it.
I don't know
Same
about
time.
that.
No.
Oh,
I don't know
my
about
bad, my
that.
bad. No, sorry. Yeah.
Let's
not get ahead of ourselves.
Judging the internal workings of Square Enix with complete ignorance. That sounds like what we're doing. But yeah, no, it could be one of those situations to where they I think that would make sense to kind of go back and forth a little bit. Because when I think of Blue Mage, I think of like entire like sets of new. What was the thing? The carnival thing?
Masked Carnival.
Yeah, the masked carnival. All right, that's a decent amount of work to put into content. And so if they did the masked carnival and they did that something like that for Beastmaster as well, if that's what comes out, right? I don't know. It could be Puppet Master. Then that will take resources away from the team to work on other things.
Oh, that'd be sick.
And the Elite Four. Oh,
Are you guys
I actually just play Pokemon.
Now you want it to be Beastmaster, huh?
Yes, I do. You sold me.
Yeah.
It was a cool concept for the old stuff. It was very neat.
I really
will
want.
say-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
They gotta bite the bullet. And they gotta unlock ultimates for Blue Mage. That's it.
Oh yeah.
It fits your content creation table.
Dude,
Whoops.
Blue Cob would be so fun.
It would be
Yeah.
entertaining to watch too. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see it. I mean, just all the different ways that you can kind of do stuff with Blue. Man, I gotta tell you, Square Enix can make so much content for this game by just enabling the ability to do things like that, right? It's not like they have to
Yeah.
do any heavy balancing or anything. They're just like, okay, check mark, done. Okay, now we have tons of excitement. Players have lots of content to do to try to hit this achievement.
They have just really high standards of how they want the structure of the progression of their gameplay to work, I guess. So they're just really, really careful about it.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
And where they give rewards and stuff, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I really want Blue Mage Battle Royale though, where you go in and can like find different spells. I think it
would
would
be
be so fun as a PvP mode.
They just drop a whole bunch of blue mages down.
Pick
And they're
up
trying to
Jake.
pick up
Yeah.
weapons, and they're
Yeah.
just picking up like you get the fish one, the whatever.
You're like, dang it, I only have the salmon.
First thing you pick up is the one where you blow yourself up.
First attack, final sting.
Oh.
Just ruin somebody else's run.
I'd
I'm
be
taking
down for
someone
it.
with me.
That'd be
Oh,
so funny.
Do you think that they're gonna let these two limited jobs kind of play together for achievements and stuff like that too?
That'd
don't
be
think it
really
depends on
cool,
what it
actually.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if it's like Blue Mage 2? And they just
Yeah.
like work hand in hand. Who knows?
Bluer mage.
Bluer Mage.
And then so you get Blue Justice, but is Blue Justice still going to be all blue mages, or will you be able to get like your Beastmaster in there as well? I don't know.
Beast mage.
You will have to see.
I guess like the way that I saw Beastmaster is like not as a job doing like duties and stuff. Like I always saw it as like overworld, like, you know, pet battle type stuff.
Yeah,
But
a little
we'll
mini game.
see.
You think they're going to change like the concept a little bit with it then? Because that doing Blue Mage PvE content in dungeons and everything is still a pretty big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Guys, you're starting to sell me on this Pokemon.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
realized, isn't Lord of Vermilion already that?
No.
Is that essentially what it is?
No,
it's like
it not?
StarCraft
it's
in a way.
StarCraft, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorta.
Never mind that.
Yeah.
Sorta. It's
But yeah, just imagine going out in the open world. You find like a really cool enemy that you really like the design of. You just catch it. It's yours now.
Gimme.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they add shinies and
Oh
See a
my
lizard, I put it in my
god.
pocket.
Oh jeez. That's so much content.
If they added
easy.
shinies, oh my god.
Puppet.
It'd be
I think
over.
most people would be excited for Beastmaster in general, but Puppet Master's another one that's been used. What would Puppet Master work like? How would that work as a limited job?
that one I have no idea. I don't
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it might have been from an old FF game at some point. I don't know what though. I could be mistaken, though.
Oh, like mammoths and stuff. Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
yeah.
The theory being like mammoths for Puppet Master or something like that. And all the mammoths would have like, I imagine, their own like version of a job, right? Like you have like a warrior one or like a healer one or blah 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 blah, like that type of thing.
But that doesn't sound as in-depth as what currently Blue Mage is either, though. Does it?
Depends on how in depth they want the system of mammoths to be. Someone in your chat just mentioned like being able to change the parts of them, right? Or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Like building,
Build your
Like
own
customize
mammoth.
them. Yeah.
like Gundams in a way, I guess, right? But little mini robots instead. Then you'd have Pokemon, but with robots. What's battle bots?
I don't want to deal with pet AI.
What do you mean?
I think
What's
it'd
wrong
be
with the pet
cool
AI?
if they brought like crafters into it somehow. Like involved crafters with like a limited job in some way. Like it could be kind of fun.
Really? How would that even?
I just mean like some of the item, like if you could like upgrade things with things that are crafted and stuff. Just like I don't know. I just feel like it's they're really careful with what they let crafters make for like regular job stuff because they don't want people to feel like they have to craft. But I feel like it's more like open ended if it's a limited job, right? So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, limited jobs to give you a little bit more room just to mess around because they don't put it in the serious content, right? They put it just outside of the range of it, so no one's complaining about balance or anything else with it. So they could have some fun with it. We'll see. Now,
I need to be right back for just a few minutes.
gosh,
So
you know what? This is a perfect
okay.
time for everybody to learn about our wonderful sponsor, Tokyo Treats.
And this is why Frosty's the best content creator. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, no,
You're back.
absolutely. Yeah, so let me go ahead and play this video for you. Hold on one second. Hey, everyone. This month, we are so fortunate to be sponsored by Tokyo Treats and Sakurako Snack Boxes. If you are unfamiliar with these subscriptions, let me go ahead and just quickly educate you. Tokyo Treats is solely focused on snacks that are the latest and most exclusive. They have limited editions and seasonal flavors of items you might be familiar with. So things like Sakura Pepsi or Japanese sake Kit Kats. It will also come with packs of like ramen and drinks and much, much more. Sakurako is focused on supporting local Japanese snack makers, which include traditional, authentic, and artisan snacks. It will also come with Japanese teas and special items such as like tableware. Both of these subscriptions are amazing and they deliver Japanese snacks to your door. It just depends on what kind of snacks you're looking to get. Now, last month we went through a ton of tasty treats for the Tsukimi Festival. But this month, of course, we might get a little bit more spooky. Tokyo Treat will be celebrating Halloween, and they'll have items such as your sweet potato Kit Kats, Pokemon Halloween Choco Pies, and Koala March Cookies. That being said, let's go ahead and take a bite of one of these sweet potato Kit Kats. I'm very curious about it, because I like Kit Kats, but I've just never imagined them with sweet potato before. You can see here's the package for it. Sweet potato Halloween break here. Break into your Kit Kat. And now I'm going to try to be careful with it because it has been sitting in my room for a little bit. So let's go ahead. Oh, it feels very like you don't want these to sit out in the sun too much. But it looks kind of like white chocolate, but I doubt it tastes like white chocolate. You know, it's not really too far off from it. Wow, this actually tastes a little bit like white chocolate, but you can definitely taste the sweet potato in there too. So it's like a holiday, very sweet Kit Kat that you might, you know, when you're thinking of sweet potato, like with all the marshmallows on top of it and everything else, if you're from the South, kind of similar. And I didn't actually read the description for it yet, so let me go ahead and do that out of their amazing book that they provide for you every single time that you get a box. This little booklet says, "Nothing screams fall has begun more than a freshly baked sweet potato." That's right. Enjoy the sweet smell and subtle flavor of these white chocolate sweet potato Kit Kats. All right, so I'm not off. I'm not far off. This was amazing. Thank you so much for the treats this month. All right, now let's go ahead and check out Sakurako's box as well. for them, they're actually focusing on Kyoto and the overall just autumn season. You can take a look at this box that they provided this month. It's a limited edition where they partnered with Kyoto's government here. You can see right there. And I actually, you know, I might start saving these, although I will kind of get in trouble maybe with my wife for having too many boxes hanging around, but maybe I will start saving these boxes each month. Inside the box, you have some really amazing stuff as well, of course. They brought in this brocade flower dish for their tableware this month, which was hand-painted by artisans over at Bloom. They also have this Halchicha tea, which we'll be trying out from Kyoto in just a second. And of course, there's some amazing snacks, which we'll try out on the Twitch channel later on. Things like the Kayo no Ame and Yuzu Dorayake. Feel free to correct me if I pronounce those incorrectly. I'm horrible at it, I'm sorry. But let's go ahead and just try this tea out really quick as well. Alright, it's a little hot. I'm going to be careful with it. It's actually really nice. Tastes a little roasted, and you can kind of taste maybe it feels a little like green tea. But let's actually look at the description in the booklet. In our Sakurako booklet here, so we can get an accurate description of it. Let's see. This is again from Kyoto, and here we go. Experience the rich flavor and pleasant aroma of this hochicha tea, a Japanese roasted green tea that transports you to the serene streets of Kyoto with every sip. If you guys want to try out the tea as well, you could sign up for Sakurako, and they will give you these amazing boxes that have teas like this inside of it. Seriously, guys, these boxes are amazing and absolutely worth the subscription. If either of these boxes interest you, use the MogTalk link and get $5 off your first box. It also helps support this channel. Japanese Snacks delivers straight to your house from Japan, supports things like the podcast that we do here, as well as the world races. It's a pretty easy win. With that all being said, again, thank you Sakurako and Tokyo Treats for sponsoring us this month, and thank you everyone for taking the time to watch this video. Have a good day. Let's talk about some lifestyle content, and Whoops, it's just going to have to come in on a tail end of it. Did they give us anything other than the words lifestyle content?
No, they just told us that it is going to be more multiplayer, which I really like, because one of the reasons I don't like Island Sanctuary is because it's like so individual. So I'm pretty hyped that they've at least confirmed that it will be more multiplayer focused.
I definitely agree with that, yeah. That is something that I really wanted with Island Sanctuary as well, was like more multiplayer stuff with it. But it kind of just ended up being like, your friends can come visit your island. And do what?
Nothing.
So the words lifestyle, to me, what does that encapsulate overall, right? Just things that are not serious about like
Casual content.
Farming.
Yeah, like is it farming? Is it, you know, housing is lifestyle content, right? I guess glamour to a point is lifestyle content in a way. Just not actually combating with other people, I guess is lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, I see it as another way to say, like, well, I guess social content would imply other people, but that's what I'm hoping for, is like social content out of the lifestyle content.
I mean, technically, Island Sanctuary is social content. People can come to your island.
I'm back.
Yeah, welcome
I was
back.
listening on my phone. I got lots to say about this. Ready? Okay.
Let's go.
Have you ever played like Fast Food Tycoon or like Corporate Tycoon or like Video Game Tycoon?
Yeah?
Like a tycoon type game? Imagine that, but it's with a bunch of people in like a bubble economy that works on like, I don't know, maybe like a 30-day rotation.
Yeah.
And you get to like build up a shop front in that new continent, and you like trade with the people that live there, and you like make money, and then you trade with other businesses. You like upgrade your businesses, you upgrade the farms that you have, you upgrade the crafters that you have that provide for your store, and then like there's leaderboards and rewards that you get for how much you sell or like how big your business becomes, something like that.
Okay.
That's actually really cool. I like that
That would
idea.
be cool. And it could all be like contained too, so like you don't have to have like outside crafting or anything. Leveled up.
Like entirely just its own system, and like it like the rewards you would get would be something like Island Sanctuary, where like outfits and like stuff like that.
Okay.
I would love to have a shop in this game that wasn't for other players, but was for like NPCs and stuff, like something that I could just like check in on every day, and that'd be fun. That's what I want.
Yeah, they could even involve free companies in it in some way.
They could do a lot more free companies in this game.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started. It feels like they haven't updated anything with free companies since like ARR.
Last thing was like submarines, right, or whatever.
Right, that was Heaven's
Submarines,
Word.
Yeah.
That was that long ago. What?
What? No, no, that was
Oh, sorry, airships were Heaven's Word, but submarines are just airships that go underwater, I guess, theoretically.
They've been adding new routes for the submarines.
Yeah. I just
There's
mean
still
like
some
totally
that I just
new.
only unlocked.
But
But yeah, like a totally new system for the company workshop would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's lots they could do with that.
Because like the social aspect within Final Fantasy 14 is very, very much in Discord, isn't it?
Do you mean like the app Discord, or like Discord as in like the actual meeting of Discord?
Well, no. The app Discord. Yeah, I think most of like free companies, they're kind of neat, but how useful are free companies outside of making extra gil and
Yeah, like I get what you're saying. It's like you get out of it what you put into it, right? Like the game doesn't provide the social aspect for you. You kind of have to build that yourself, because there aren't many tools in the free companies how they work right now to like facilitate like a party, for example.
Yeah, it's just if you look at like things like Guild Wars 2 and stuff, they have like weekly like little games you can do with your free company to get like little rewards, like just like stuff like that would be really fun. More involving the new content. And
go ahead. Something like at least in WoW has like a in-game calendar that you can like set events for, right?
Yeah,
like that type of thing. That'd be cool.
Like
that was fellowships.
Like an event board even in your free company. That people could sign up for.
Yep.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. It would be neat.
Or maybe a filtering button for the member list. I don't know.
True. The thing is, like, I haven't every single FC I've ever been in, and it's probably because I'm a horrible person. I have never interacted with them much outside of being in the FC, getting the buffs from it every, the extra food buff or whatever else. But maybe I'm just, this is the skewed perspective of me as a content creator who most of my social activity is on stream and throughout Discord. So I could be completely just wrong on this, but
I think for a lot of people, at least, that's the similar kind of experience they have. And like I mentioned, like if somebody goes out of their way to be like, hey, everybody in the FC, click on this Discord link, and this is going to have like events in it and stuff, and we're going to plan to do it like we're going to do this on this day, and then people will be like, okay, yay. But like that has, when you really boil it down, that has nothing to do with how the actual game works. And so it's easy to fall into like, I'm in this FC and I don't know what we're doing, but we have buffs, and so that's cool.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's probably because I'm just not actively looking for an active FC either, too, right? I know they're out there.
I don't think you should have to. I don't think it should be that hard to like do stuff with your FC, but the way it works makes it difficult.
Well,
there's not a ton of like natural system. Like it really is like what you make of it. And so if you're like in a position where you aren't looking to socialize with people through the FC, it's just not going to be like a relevant part of the game. But for me, just like guilds in general in an MMO, I just see them as so core to like what an MMORPG is. So it is kind of weird to me that like FCs in this game have kind of fallen by the wayside for me.
That's fair. So I mean, this all started for us wanting to put that lifestyle content into FCs. What would have been interesting if Island Sanctuary was an FC thing.
Yeah.
If you like
That
shared
would've
the
been
work
cool.
to actually improve the island,
Or
yeah,
if,
I could see
or
that being
if
really
it
cool.
could be like you could still have your individual one, but then there like could be an FC like group.
Or you have
thing,
like a
too.
part of the island, or like a little solo, a tinier island, and you have your big FC island or something like that. I don't know.
Mm,
I feel like that would have been interesting to have like one. Like your FC could have its own little spot to like build up and work on something together.
yeah, I probably would have been more inspired by it.
Yeah, you have one big island where
I-
all the FC works together to make one house, and then everyone has their own little island with their own house. And then we solve the housing problem.
Let's
I
do
hate to say it, but
Continent
the company
Sanctuary.
workshop,
Go ahead.
like the fabrication station, that's kind of how it works, but like not really the same thing.
Yeah.
Like your whole FC can contribute to a recipe that somebody puts up,
Mhm.
but like nobody does that.
It's another really good example of like a system though that like people want to do it, but because if you start a recipe in the fabrication station, it doesn't tell anyone that you started it, and it doesn't like have anywhere in the FC UI that like shows what materials are needed. Like it's so not involved with people that unless you personally announce, hey, I'm crafting this and like organize it, then nobody even knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You could have like a note system, like not quite like mail. Like you could have like a FC board or something in the house, or like some other message thing within the FC panel itself, right? Where you could like leave messages for people being like, "Hey, we started this," or blah blah blah. Like people could check it, that type of thing. Because I think FCs only have like the announcement thing, right? Like the
Yeah, and it's like
login
2
announcement or whatever.
sentences.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, it sucks because we could just theory craft, right? We have nothing on this.
Yeah.
We just don't. We have to wait till JP FanFest before we get all the info. Then we'll be fully rounded out, which is 3 months now, 2.5, 3 months away.
Coming up.
It's going to be interesting to see the rest of that. Then we have the media tour afterwards, which we get the full rundown of all the jobs. Right?
I am so excited for the job stuff. That's the thing I'm always the most hyped for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love job stuff.
When did they show the job action trailer for Endwalker? You remember? It was before the media tour, right?
Was
Don't
it?
they usually show it at FanFest, right? Like they always show the job trailer and then media tour happens. Then we get more info.
I believe so.
Because like
Yeah,
I think
they
so.
do
Because
something.
like usually the job trailer stuff is like, oh, we sit there, we speculate on like, oh, this thing is, oh, what's this gonna do? And then the media tour ends up being like slightly different from what some of the job trailer stuff was, right? And then
Media
obviously, go ahead.
Media tour Endwalker was 2 months before expansion drop.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that media tour for Endwalker, yeah. And then that wouldn't be until like April, May.
A while.
A
A
while.
hot minute.
If they stick to the pattern, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess
And
I'll
summer
see.
2024 is very ambiguous. It could be a lot of different spots for the expansion to actually drop.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't given us
Hoping
any
for late
updated
July.
date to summer. All right, it's just summer still.
Yeah, summer 2024.
Which I anticipated as soon as they said it would be July.
Yeah.
I think that's where we would expect it to happen. If they have to push it, it'll go in August. But I can't see them doing it sooner than that. Because if you tell someone summer, why would you do it at the beginning of summer, right? Because like you have an excuse to delay it and fix little things for a while. Why would you do it?
As long
right
as they don't release it in winter.
Yeah, at least they don't push it to winter. Yeah. All right. Well, what else? What else do we got? I think that's most of it. I don't think tomorrow they're going to have some events happening tomorrow at EU FanFest, but I don't think any of them are going to be like major updates or information. Like they don't have a live letter or anything, right?
I can check the schedule really quick.
Oh, everybody's saying 16 collapse. Sorry, we kind of skimmed over that.
Dog.
You guys are excited for it?
Yes.
I've yet to play 16. It looks really cool though.
It is really good.
Good game.
I've only heard good things
Yeah.
because it's only on console, right?
As of right now, yes, it's
Yeah.
still only PS5.
Bleh, I have a PS5, but I don't want to plug it in.
Wow, what kind of privilege?
That's the point I'm at. It was given to me. I didn't want it. Okay.
So many people were wanting.
I know, and
PS5
that's what
for
makes
so
it feel
long.
worse.
You're like,
I don't like
someone
playing
just
games
gave
on
me this thing.
console.
I don't want it. As a
I never
paperweight to
have.
PS5 giveaway confirmed.
PS5 giveaway.
We actually gave away a PS5 on this channel before. Sindoff provided it. That was a while back.
What a guy.
Pretty sick.
Yep. Well, I mean, Final Fantasy 16 collab, we all knew it was coming at some point. I mean, how much in detail do we have about what it is?
Dog.
Dog? Is that it?
The outfit from the main
Minion.
character, and I'm assuming like a trial or story thing or something, but
Mm-hmm.
at least that's what they showed in the trailer for it.
It looked like there was a minion, unless it was.
Yes,
That's
there was
the
a
dog.
Torgal
Fight it
minion.
for it? Maybe?
It's
Huh?
gonna be like the 15 collab. Remember where you do the Garuda with Noctis?
It's been so long since I've done that.
Does nobody remember that? That's how
I
you got.
remember that.
That's how
I
you got his
don't.
outfit.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be cool. It'll be cool to have, and anyone who's like collecting more glamours they're gonna be extremely excited for it, right? More options for it.
Yeah, the
Um,
orchestration rolls are gonna be lit too.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Well, it's more Soken, right? So we're just getting Soken footage.
yes. The music is really good.
Yeah. So that's pretty exciting too. So we have some stuff, and this is the collab is going to be before 7.0, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. So we have a decent amount of cool little things coming to the game. And a lot of this stuff again, we'll probably do it and be done with it after the first time of touching it or whatever else. Fall Guys, on that note, we started with Fall Guys. Let's end with Fall Guys real quick before we wrap up. Spofie, I'm gonna almost done, I swear.
Oh, it's okay.
But Fall Guys is going to keep people pretty active in the game, I think, for a little bit if they put the right stuff in there for it, right? I feel like I have a lot of like possibilities of how it could be really good in the game. But then I'm also worried that they're not going to add any really good rewards outside of a quick Fall Guys thing. Like if they add good MGP rewards, it'll be very active, right?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah,
It looks fun.
it looks fun, and that could keep us going. You think that'll keep us going for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months?
No.
No.
As much as I would like it to, absolutely not.
Yeah. But they still didn't mention if it was a gate or if it was something we could queue into, right?
I mean, you can't
don't think
queue
so.
into gates with friends, I don't think. So if you can queue with other people, then I think it
I'm
would
pretty
be
sure
separate.
you can if you're in a party and you're all there.
Can you?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
you
done
could
that
queue
before.
into the jumping
Okay.
puzzles. Yeah.
I'm just spreading misinformation then.
At least Leap of Fate. I don't know about the other ones.
Mm,
You can't
okay.
do Air Force One in a group, but
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. But most of them, I think you can if it's like the Leap of Faith stuff, as long as all of you are going to go in and do it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What else we got? Is that it? That all EU FanFest is over? Is done?
It's done. We did it.
We did the thing.
Wishing I
succeeded.
could go to the Primals concert again.
Yeah.
Whoops, you jerk. You shouldn't have been there. That's okay. That's okay.
So good.
That was really awesome to run into you right before that concert, though.
Yeah, I saw you walking. I was like, hey.
Yeah, someone told me you were in there, and I was like, oh, there's no way I'm gonna find it.
I saw you walk in front of me, and I got up and ran over.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, we're gonna miss all those wonderful concerts. They don't air all that stuff. They'll have some more stuff tomorrow, but I don't think it's gonna be anything that's gonna be groundbreaking like today was. Who knows? Maybe they'll end off with a quick haha. Got to tell you.
One last thing.
Forgot to tell you.
Female Hrothgar.
Yeah, female Hrothgar.
Oh man.
Yeah. But all right, so let's go ahead and wrap up, and then you know, be excited for this next. What is it? 10 days from now. Now it's 10 days from now. We'll have Criterion coming out, Variant coming out, and we'll have
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys. We'll have
Are you gonna be
Halloween
covering
happening Thursday.
The Criterion
Basically.
stuff.
Huh?
Are you gonna be like showing the progression? Like you normally do?
I'm getting a feel for it right now. If there's enough people who want to do it, I can't imagine anything being like really major for it though, because I don't know if more people are going to do it or less people are going to do it, because it's been.
From what I hear, all the people who were doing the last one are doing this one. Just about.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I'll probably throw up a sign up sheet or something. If I can get one going tomorrow, just push that out and see how many people I can get signed up for it. I don't know if I'll be able to get any rewards or anything for it. But at least we can kind of watch it.
A pat on the back.
Yeah, yeah, a pat on the back, which is what the world race has been for so far.
Yep.
Yeah. Just a name on a spreadsheet. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But before I go into all that stuff too, you guys, I'd like to give you all a moment to do your shout outs and where people can find you and any last things you want to say. And I'll go clockwise here. Jesse, the guest that hasn't been here since 2017, you must have done something really wrong. Can you tell everybody where they can find you and any last words you'd like to say before getting off the air?
You can find me on Twitter at Zaviason, the Twitter handle that I usually use, and Twitch. You can find me at Zoltan, twitch.tv/Zoltan. Just want to say thanks for having me here again. It's been a while, been a hot minute.
Yeah.
And thanks for letting me be here.
Of course, dude. I'm glad I did. You know, I don't know what it is, but like there's so many people out there for me to ask to come on the show, and for some reason I don't know why I haven't asked you to come on the show more. Do you just hate the Final Fantasy 14 community and I've ignored you? I don't know why. I'm trying to think of a reason why.
I've had a very interesting I guess experience with 14 over the last 6 years, shall we say. Taking a break maybe for a year,
Maybe
shall we
that's
say,
what it was.
at one point. That might have been it.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I'm glad to have you here again. We'll have you on more shows in the future if you're interested in them.
I'd very much be interested, yes.
If you want to be back on this hot mess.
You gotta have me for the announcer for the Lord Vermilion tournament, right?
Oh,
thing that I don't talk about.
Shoutcaster.
Yeah.
The
Frosty Winter Games. Yeah,
The
let's do it.
minion is it's going over there.
Yep, they're doing the thing. Yep. Gonna have like the Mahjong tournament with Woops announcing, and then me too. I have no idea what's going on. It's like, all right, yep, Jim, he's doing the thing.
It's a bold
Yep.
strategy, Cotton.
Let's see if it pays off.
Okay. All right. Spofie, thanks for coming on again. I know it's been a bit since I've had you on. I've actually tried to get you on a couple of shows, but things just didn't work out recently too. So I'm glad we could get you on again.
Yeah, me too. I am Spofie or Sophie, either is fine. I'm a Purple LFL VTuber. I stream a lot of Final Fantasy 14, but a lot of other stuff too, especially now while it's like, hey, everybody, let's take a break time. So been doing a lot of variety and stuff and just chilling really. Yeah, feel free to come chill with me whenever is what I'm doing. I'm just playing some games.
Yeah. And you're probably man, you've been streaming for so long now.
Don't age me.
How am I gonna age? How am I gonna feel bad about aging you? Right? Don't give me that. After this,
my
whippersnapper.
7-year partnerversary is next week. So
congratulations!
Yay!
Halloween partnerversary. Oh man. Well, that lined up and worked out well. Okay. And Whoops, I know you came on last moment here. We didn't know how things were going to go. But now, congratulations on being done with Top. Outside of the times that you're going to help me try to clear it later, I'm sure.
Ooh.
Ooh. Sorry. Thank you for giving us those 2 days of sub work. Sorry you had
You're
to
welcome,
go through it.
Of course. No, anytime. Just let me know if you need me again.
Yeah. Tell everybody where they can find you. Any last words or anything you want to say.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. You can find me on Twitter at Skullvolver. Just go ahead and head over there and check out all the amazing drawings I've been doing recently. I'm actually at TwitchCon right now, so yeah, it's been really fun. Thank you again, Frosty, for having me. Let me know if you want me on for anything else. I'm always down.
Yeah, of course, dude. You're a lot of fun to have on. You guys are all real fun to have on. The Final Fantasy 14 content creator space is amazing. Every time I have a conversation with anyone from it, it's usually pretty good. But you guys are the best right now out of all the people I've ever had on the show. Just so you know, at this moment.
Okay, letting everybody know.
Yeah,
I was gonna say we can tweet that, right? We can.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tweet that 100%.
Putting that on my report card
because I can be within the same content creator circle that's not having fun and drinking and partying right now over in a completely different country. These jerks. My envy knows no bounds right now. But yeah, thank you all for coming on. This has been good to just kind of talk about it. That's the news that we're going to be going over and speculating and trying to figure out what those secrets are on those screenshots and everything else for at least 3 to 4 months until they give us more stuff at JP FanFest. This channel in particular, we are doing a handful of different things. We are still doing top progression 3 nights a week on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. We just made it to P6.
Not for long, because you're about to win, baby.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. Having to use a limit break to get to P6 is pretty rough. But
hey, we got there.
We got there.
Listen, yeah. M will carry you.
I'm hoping so. M is wonderful. I'm so glad we got M on the team. But yeah, I think it's going to be finished soon. We're within the last month or so of probably progging it. So if you guys want to see that clear, that was a charity incentive that we actually started in the beginning of this year because we raised $50,000 for Extra Life. It was a ridiculous thing I didn't think they were going to do, but we ended up doing it. And we might be working with them soon again for a couple of different things to round out the year. And maybe in the future, we have some other stuff too. But because of the Final Fantasy 14 community raising that much money, I have dedicated nearly 6 months of my life to clearing a single fight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Man, yeah, if you look at it again right now, we are the second highest fundraiser under Magic the Gathering for Extra Life.
Wow.
Holy
Nice.
moly.
So yeah, you guys have done some work for sure. We've raised $72,000 this year for them. Overall. So it's been pretty insane. And I want to see what we can do, to finish out the year and everything. But that being said, also we'll do normal streams sometimes throughout the day, and we have possibly a Criterion race. We're going to try to get that going. If anyone watching this is interested in participating in that, basically we are going to collect stream handles from a handful of people that want to show their prog off, and just kind of commentate over that and see who can clear it first. Usually normal is cleared within, I don't know what's like 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
And then Savage is cleared about 3 to 4 hours after that. So it's a fun short race. That it'll be the last one that we have. The last one that we can make one out of until the expansion hits. I don't think anything else is going to come up unless if they surprise us with new content. I think it's going to be cool to see how that finishes out.
It's going to be the last race to 7.0.
Yeah. And then a week and a half to prepare, right? But we also have more Mog Talks that will be coming up. We'll be doing weekly talks depending on what topics happen. There's a couple of artists that we'll have coming on. People who might be performing over at FanFest might be on the show soon too. We'll see. But that all being said, thanks everybody for watching. This has been fun. Thanks you guys for hanging out again. This is why I do the show. I don't care about the people watching. I just care about talking to you guys. And people.
Wait a second.
Hold up.
This is a guest first show, viewer second show. Just let you know. Sorry, viewers. Sorry.
Streamer hates me. Goodbye.
Capital D :
Yeah. We're gonna go to a hold screen here, guys, and then we're gonna do a raid, guys. Hang tight for just a second. Everybody say bye and wave. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.